Welcome to Cavaletta Studios. I am Chris. Today you will need a foam roller and 2 tennis balls. We will work our way to release and stretch the area affecting the sciatic nerve. If you enjoy this class, be sure to like and subscribe below. Let's get started. We are going to start on the foam roller today, seated. We're going to start with the glutes, and I'm going to start on my left glute. Feel free to start on your right if you prefer, and you're going to reach your left hand down behind you. You can also use a block or a book to hold your arm a little higher, and we're going to use our feet to roll ourselves top and the bottom of the glute, that whole area, go all the way up. So today we're going to work our way, starting at the glute. We're going to work our way around here, but then we're going to move a little bit to the upper back. So everything is connected. And of course, our goal today is to release and stretch out all the tissue and area that can affect the sciatic nerve. So if we start getting into this, like if this is very painful, I want you to just do a few and take a break and stretch, depending on what you have going on. If your sciatic is so flared up, then maybe you come back and do this another time. That's always an option, and you can sit on a bag of ice. It's always a good one too, depending on where your sciatic nerve is coming from, the pain. So it can come from a hip, like if you've got something swollen as that nerve runs through that hip joint, and it also can come from the low back. There's different ways and areas it can come from and affect you. Not everyone is the same. All right, so then we're going to go a little deeper. Let's cross that left ankle over the right thigh and continue to roll. If your wrist or arm starts getting tired, you can always go to the knuckles, and you can also drop to your elbow. Lean in. Now push your left knee open. See if you can get a little deeper into it, that glute. And then we're going to pause right in the middle of the glute, and you're going to rock yourself east and west, basically side to side. Excellent. And then you're going to pause right there. Hold it, hold it. Let's drop to the elbow. Go ahead and straighten out that left leg and roll some more. I'm going to hit the wall. There we go. Forward and back. And just let your left leg drag on the floor. It's going to feel a little different. Now I want you to roll your body forward. So you're going towards the top of that glute, and then rock yourself east and west, forward and back. Excellent. Now you're going to pop yourself up, slide off of that roller. We're going to straighten out both legs. Give it a nice tall stretch through the spine. Take a deep breath in. Good. Exhale. Check in with that leg. Pull that left foot across. And that's one thing else we're going to do today is I want you to just tune in to what you're feeling in the body. Flex your right foot, lift tall, pull that knee into the chest. You can use your left hand as a kickstand. I want you to just stretch that whole glute area. This is our first stretch in the area. So our goal, again, to loosen things up, but you don't want to have so much pain. Not a good sign. Pain is not good. That means pay attention inside now. P-A-I-N. Don't want that. All right, one more breath, stretching that glute and that hip. Excellent. We're going to release that leg. Give it a shake. Let's try a forward fold. I want you to breathe in, reach the arms overhead, and then exhale, fold. Reach for those feet. And just shake them out. And just check in. Now, while you're here, if you can't reach your toes, that's okay. You can have your hands on the floor. I want you to be mindful of what you're feeling, going even up through the back. Maybe draw your chin down towards your chest. That might intensify it. If it becomes too intense, get your head up higher and lift your body up a little higher. And then we're going to walk the hands all the way up. So again, just checking in to see what's going on. We're going to switch sides. So now you're going to go onto the right glute. So you pop yourself back up. I'm just going to turn around so I can still see you all. Now we're going to roll from the top and bottom of that glute using the hands, the feet. Now we're on the right side. If you are right dominant, you might feel more trigger points or spots in that glute that are talking to you. Almost there, a little couple more rolls. If you find that trigger point, you can always pause on it, move that knee. All right, now you're gonna take your right ankle, let's cross it over the left thigh. Open up the knee. You might get a little hip pop. I'm always getting those hip pops. Those are just things loosening up, getting more range of motion. Maybe flex your right foot, rolling all the way to the top and the bottom. Getting nice and deep. Again, same thing with this arm. You can go onto your elbow if you need to. Now we're gonna pause right in the middle of that glute, and I want you to roll yourself east and west, side to side. Checking in with that glute. Anything going on there? Can change from day to day, depending on what you've been doing, your activity level. Now you're gonna take that right leg, you're gonna extend it straight out. Let's drop to the elbow and roll forward and back. All the way. Good. I want you to go move your body away from that roller, so you're top, like on the very top of that glute, and then roll yourself side to side. That's it. And then we're going to roll up and off that roller and straighten out those legs. And just notice the difference now. What's going on there? Sit up nice and tall again. Take a breath. Notice the back, and then pull that right knee in, and the foot goes across. Hug that right knee into the chest, and lift and twist. Feel that stretch through that whole glute area, maybe even into the back, depending on what you have going on. And we're breathing. Remember to just let it go. Any tension, as you breathe in, try to breathe in any kind of release or relief to that area. Now we're going to let that leg go. We're going to straighten it out. Lift as tall as you can. Flex the feet. Reach the arms overhead, and let's take a forward fold. Reach for those toes. Now when you come down, shake out the knees a little bit. And just see again, where are you as far as, maybe it's only in the hamstrings, maybe it's the glutes, maybe the back. Draw your chin down. Another breath in. Then we're gonna walk all the way up. Excellent. Now here you're gonna want one tennis ball. And we're going to bend the right knee, because we're going to go onto the side that we just finished. Okay, that tennis ball is going right underneath those sits bones, all the way underneath those sits bones. Reach behind you. You can use the roller behind your back as a support. Adjust your body where you need to. That right knee is bent, and you're going to just drop that right knee open and closed. And make adjustments where you need to. If it's super painful, don't put as much pressure on that area. And just drop it open and closed. And breathe. Now, if this is too much on your wrist, you can also lean on that roller. There's an option there with the forearms on the roller, and it's still supporting your low back. One more, rock and roll. Excellent. Now we're going to take that tennis ball out, and we're going to go to the other side. So bend the left knee, place it under those sits bones. Make those adjustments, and then drop that knee open and closed. So a lot of attachments down there around the sits bones. They can affect us, how we walk, our gait. Oh, I got another hip pop. How our hips rotate in and out. Just move around so the tennis ball is comfortable for you. And you still have that control. No clenching that jaw. Relax your jaw if there's pain, if there's stuff going on there. Excellent. One more drop. Open and close. Now we're going to come off of that tennis ball. Excellent. Straighten out both legs again. Sit up as tall as you can so you're sitting on those sits bones. Pull that right leg across again and just give it a squeeze. Lift up tall. Nice little twist. We're not going to stay here too long, because I want you to turn back to the front, release the leg, hold on to it, and just swing it back and forth. Swing it back and forth. And we're going to get deeper into this, don't worry. They're just checking things out. Go ahead and release that leg. Pull the left one across and give it a squeeze. Lift tall, twist towards that left knee. Excellent. We're going to release, hold on to the shin or the foot or ankle, and just draw that leg across, back and forth. Little massage. So we're going to take a little break from this area. We're going to just let it rehydrate, let it rest. So the idea is we rolled it, we stretched it. So we're going to move to upper back. We will come back to this area. So you're going to lean back onto that roller about mid shoulder blades. Fingertips behind the ears. Now I want you to find a comfortable position. Maybe lift the hips slightly so you can roll that roller higher up or lower down, but not below the rib cage. You won't want to go, like where that belly button meets is where we're going to roll to. We are going to roll the whole back. But first I want you to find a midpoint where you can curve around that roller and just see where your range of motion is. And not be arching through that low back. Be mindful of that. Take a breath in. And then exhale out. Good. Now let's lift the hips and roll that upper back. All the way to where, again, where the belly button meets through the low back, and then all the way back up. So we're not rolling the low back. We're just going to where, pretend like your belly button was on the low back, that's about where you would stop with that roller. Might get a little natural chiropractic adjustment. Think about your breath. Take a deep breath in at the top, and as you roll down, exhale. So you really relax into that roller. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you roll back down. Good. 2 more rolls, up and down. And you want, again, this to feel good. Last one, and we'll finish up where we started, and then we're going to lower our hips to the floor. Excellent. Now I want you to go to your left shoulder blade first. So I'm going to tilt. I want you to scoot your hips slightly to the right so you can go on your left hip. Drop your knees to the left and then roll towards that left shoulder blade. Now we're going to bring that right arm way out to the right, like you're reaching it over the roller, and open up that chest so your knees are dropped to the left, but you're opening to the sky. And then take that arm, roll all the way towards your left shoulder and armpit, reach your right arm over towards the left, and then open it back up again. So big rolls all the way towards that armpit, and then back again. So get some big movements here. Now notice if what's going on with the body. As you roll that right arm back and you open up your whole body to the sky, your right knee might automatically come up. That's normal. We want that to happen because you want to keep things in alignment. If you keep the knee down, you might get a little extra twist, but I don't want it to be painful, especially because we're working sciatic today. So if it's fired up, let the knee follow with the body movement. If you want more of a twist, you can make the knee stay down there and you'll get more of a stretch through the upper body. And you might even feel the chest or right around that armpit stretching out. As long as, again, there's no pain in that low back. And then 2 more times, reaching it over and back. And then 1 more time. Excellent. Now you're going to roll all the way back to your center. Move your hips to the center. Let's roll our back another time. So lift those hips, fingertips behind the ears, to support your neck the whole time. And roll that back. Excellent. Now bring it all the way back to the top of the shoulder blades. It was quick and easy, right? Shift your hips to the left so you're on your right butt cheek. Drop your knees to the right. Open up the chest. Take your left arm, reach it out nice and long to the left. Notice the difference. Now you're going to roll into that right armpit. The elbow goes towards the floor and then all the way back again. And just notice what happens. Is that left knee kind of following? Do you have to make it stay down? Do you want it to go with you? As you rotate, Are you tighter or looser on this side? Everybody's a little different, so that's okay. Just be, again, when we get to know our bodies and what is going on, where we're having some pain or just some extra tension, knowing about that, we can help work it out. We have 2 more to go. We're breathing through it. Open it up. Last one. And we're going to take ourselves all the way to the back again. Open it up. Let's roll the back one more time. One more time. Up and back. And then lower your hips to the floor and lift yourself all the way up. Straighten out those legs and let's just sit nice and tall. Let your head gently roll, rotate, not roll, but rotate side to side. Shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Take a deep breath in. Inhale the arms, flex the feet, exhale, fold. And let your head just drop down. See if, oh, I got toes cracking. There we go. And just relax your head towards your knees. And breathe. Let your head hang heavy, let the stretch. Now just notice, is it a little easier now? Can you reach further to the toes? How is the back feeling? Then you're gonna walk your arms up nice and tall. So we're gonna slide that roller out of the way. So we're gonna do just a little bit for upper back, and then we will be moving into more of the sciatic. So you need 2 tennis balls. Now this is the challenging part because you're going to want to put them about between the shoulder blades, but at the top part. So I'm gonna turn and show you. So you're gonna be like right here, placing both those tennis balls, but laying on the floor. If it's too intense, you can do the same thing on the wall, okay? So if it's too painful, you can always do it on the wall. So I'm gonna lay on my back, knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. I'm gonna lift my upper body, I'm gonna push, make sure you push the tennis balls in from the top, and you can always do one arm like this or this, but not the sides. You don't want them down low. And then once you get them there, you can always slide your body backwards just enough so you can get your head on the floor. Now, if your head doesn't reach the floor, please put your head on the your roller, a yoga block, or a pillow, or a big book, because you want to find that sweet spot in there. Hips stay on the floor at all times, and feet flat. Excellent. Now, you're going to slowly bring both fingertips to the sky, palms face each other, and just feel your body wrap around those shoulder blades. Feel what's going on there. Now I want you to very slowly take your right arm, reach it way over your head, left arm to your hip, and then release. I haven't done this in a while. Might be a little tender. I got something going on that right side. So we're massaging out the fascia tissue. Continue moving those arms up and down. Almost there. So you might feel like you're getting more range of motion as you move the arms. Maybe you're feeling a trigger point and you're kind of slowly massaging it out. If this is painful and you feel like you can't move your arms at all, then I want you to move the tennis balls, either probably more higher up towards your top of your back and not lower. And then we're going to bring both hands up to the sky again. Now you're slowly going to open the arms wide like a T. Move your roller out of the way if it's in the way. And then when you're slowly going to bring the arms back up and then crisscross them like you're giving yourself a hug, and then slowly open them again, nice and wide to the floor. And then as you come up, crisscross them again, the opposite arm on top, and then open wide. Now this can get a little intense, so again, only go as far as you feel comfortable. Crisscross and open. We have one more to go. Crisscross the other arm on top. And then we're going to open and let the arms stay open and wide. And just rest here for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. And slowly let it out. One more time. Inhale. And slowly let it out. Good. Bring your arms gently across the body like you're giving yourself a hug. And then slowly open. And then one more time, opposite arm on top. Give yourself a hug, open up. Now what you're going to do from here is you're going to sweep the arms that are wide like a T over your head like a snow angel. And then down by your hips. And then all the way back up. One more time, sweeping them along the floor. And then all the way back down. Hands next to the body. Go ahead and roll off the side, off of those tennis balls. Just move them out of the way and lay back on the floor. Lay all the way back down. Let your hips rest down. Bring both arms overhead. Reach your right arm over your head, left arm to the floor. And then reverse. One more time each way. How easy that is now. Bring both arms up, open wide like a T. And then cross the arms like you're giving yourself a hug. Now this time, pull the elbows towards your belly as you're holding your shoulders. And then release wide. Cross the arms the opposite way. Pull down. Open wide. You're going to hug the knees into the chest. And I want you to pull your chin to your knees. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Wrap your arms as tight as you can around your shins. And then release all the way back to the floor. Excellent. I want you to take both legs straight, reach both arms overhead, full body stretch. Point those toes, reach, 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 breathe in, and then sweep the arms down around you. Excellent. Now we're going to stay on our back. And what you're going to do is you're going to need one tennis ball. And what I want you to do is just have it next to you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And just breathe for a moment. Excellent. Now bring your arms to a T. Now you're going to test. We're going back to sciatic now. That's why we loosened this up. So remember, everything's connected. So if your upper back is super tight, now maybe it's a little looser and you'll move better through the hips. So you're going to drop both knees. So your right ankle's over your left thigh. You're going to drop them both to the left. So as you drop them, I want you to think about keeping your right shoulder on the floor. And then you're going to hold on to the right knee with your left hand and just gently pull. And notice what's going on here. Do you feel it in the glute? Do you feel it in the shoulder or the chest area? Maybe that's where you're tight. Maybe you don't have any sciatic going on and you just feel a nice stretch. Now you're going to release that leg all the way back up. Keep the leg crossed, your figure four. Push the knee open. I just got another hip hop. You're going to use your tennis ball, and I want you to lean to your left slightly. Take the tennis ball, place it underneath the right glute, right in the middle now. Arms are back at a T, and then drop your figure four knees to the right. Just gently rock on and off of that tennis ball. And try not to grit your teeth while you're doing this. So on and off. Now if you have a spot and you're good to go, you can keep going there. Maybe you move that tennis ball up a little higher and drop it on and off that tennis ball. Again, just checking out what's going on there, make adjustments. One more. Now you're going to roll off of that tennis ball. Go ahead and place it to the side. Now what I want you to do is hug your right knee into the chest and straighten out your left leg. Now, this is where it's going to get a little complicated, but once you get there, I'm going to have you hold the stretch. Right hand on the right shin, on the knee, the right knee. Left hand, this is very important, goes to your right shin or the ankle, but not the foot. We want to make sure it's on the ankle. You can use a strap if you can't quite reach your shin. Now I want you to pull your right foot towards your left shoulder. Now take your right hand and gently start to push your right knee across. So you're going to feel that stretch right there. So if your foot's really high, bring it lower. If it's too low, bring it level. Now you're going to pull, flex your left foot, pull the knee across. Now I want you to close your eyes and just start to breathe here. You can do this. Breathe it in. Try to pull that knee a little closer. Feel the stretch through that glute. Now I want you to hug that knee back into the chest and then draw circles with it. Just big circles. Loosening it up and then reverse direction. Now let's do a full body stretch. Release that leg, point the toes, stretch it out. Feel the whoosh, feel everything running into that right leg, that energy, that hydration. Good, now bend both knees, go back onto your back. You're still on your back, I should say. Bend your knees, feet flat. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Press it open for a moment. We're just going to check out this side. You're going to bring your arms nice and wide like a T. Good. Now, are you ready? We're going to drop both legs to your right and just feel that stretch. Maybe have the hand go onto the knee and pull and stretch. And just hold. And check in with the left arm, shoulder. Notice the difference. Is it the chest that's tight, the hip? We're going to release that knee, and we're going to come all the way back up. Grab hold of the tennis ball. You're going to place it underneath that left glute, arms wide, and start to draw that knee to the left side now. Both legs, rock and roll onto that tennis ball. And breathe. And notice the difference on this side. Notice the difference if you have your foot relaxed or if you flex your foot as well. You can move that tennis ball a little bit higher onto that glute or out to the side more. Just moving it around. You can do this. Now, if this is painful and you want to go straight into your sciatic stretch already, you can. Or you can rock and roll a little bit longer on that tennis ball. Just, again, I'm kind of moving around, just find different spots that are tender. Just need a little bit of release, a little bit of love to get that crystallized tissue to release, to get some hydration in there. Then we're going to come off of that tennis ball, slide it to the side, hug your left knee into the chest, straighten out your right leg. Now you're going to hold on to that left knee with your left hand, take your right hand and place it on your shin, and then start to pull that left foot towards your right shoulder, and then add a little pressure. So you're pushing both that angled leg towards your opposite shoulder. So the goal is to feel that glute stretching out. Again, if your foot's super high, and you're just feeling hamstring, bring it lower. If it's too low, bring it level. And then just, again, gently pulling it across. You might be down here, so pull it up. If you're coming to the same, remember, left knee should not be at the left shoulder. It should be going across the body. And just, again, hold the stretch. Maybe flex or point the foot. Oh, boy, I'm snap, crackle, pop all over the place today. That was my ankle. And just breathe. Relax your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Just really lengthening, loosening it. Add a little bit more of a pull to that shin, adding that little bit of a twist, and then let the knee come back to the chest. Hug it in. Then you're going to release the foot to the floor, straighten out those legs, full body stretch. And just notice, maybe you feel a little bit of energy running down the leg, on the outside, blood flow, and then bring the arms down next to your body, bend your knees. Let's hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Now you're going to hold behind your thighs. Let's roll ourselves up. If you have water, grab a drink of water. Excellent. So from here, we're going to go to quads. So you're going to bring that roller right in front of you. And we're going to do some more stretching a little bit later, but I want you to, let's just move into our plank. So the roller is right above the knees, elbows on the floor, palms are down. So find your plank. I want you to pull the shoulder blades open as you press away from the floor, and then use your hands to push yourself forward and back 1 inch on that roll, up and down on the roller, so you are on the thighs, moving only about 1 inch of space. Try to relax your feet as much as possible and your legs. Then I want you to find a center spot, hold it here, and I want you to bend and straighten your right leg. I know this is a little different. And then relax that leg, bend and straighten the left leg. Now, if this at all bothers your back, then continue just with the forward and back, and then let the leg relax. Walk your elbows back 1 inch, and then move your body forward and back 1 inch, north and south. So you move that roller up a little higher on those thighs. And the goal, again, is to relax as much as you can as you roll. If this is super intense, maybe you want a softer roller, or you can put a towel, wrap a towel around your roller. That will help soften it, especially for the thighs, because the thighs can be sensitive. And we're going to pause here, and we're going to bend and straighten the right leg only. If it's too much, then don't do that. And then left leg, just a couple times, just see what's going on. But think about what's going on those legs when you walk up and down stairs, or you're hiking, you're out doing things, bending, sitting up and down. Walk your elbows back and forward and back 1 inch. So the more you roll, the less it hurts. If it hurts, it probably means you need it a little bit. You probably have some tight quads and tissue that's pulling your knees and hips a little bit out of alignment. So we want to loosen that up. We're going to pause here and bend and straighten that right leg. And I'm only doing it like 2 or 3 bend and straightens, and then the left leg. And then we're going to walk the elbows back a little higher up that thigh. So we're just gradually working our way up, rolling yourself north and south, forward and back. And just noticing maybe one side talks to you more than the other. And then we're going to pause and then bend and straighten. And then the other leg. And be mindful of what's going on in the back. I want you to pull that belly in nice and tight. Last walk up. And maybe your leg, everybody has different leg lengths. Maybe you've already reached the top and you're taking a break. That's fine. Maybe you have really long legs and you're still got a ways to go. We're going to pause and bend and straighten. And then the other leg. Then we're going to slide off the back of our roller. Let's take a child's pose. So knees wide, feet together. Walk the roller way out front, hands on it, and lower yourself down, knees apart. Really stretch it out. And breathe. Feel the stretch through the armpits. So we're going to do a little extra stretch here. So you're going to keep your left hand on that roller. I want you to take your right arm and reach it underneath and really stretch, because we stretch that with the tennis balls. We work the fascia of the upper back. So So we really want to stretch it out here. So with the shoulder, again, if this is too much, you can always put your head on the roller and just reach your right arm underneath if your head doesn't reach the floor. And just wiggle those right fingertips. Wiggle, wiggle. So the fascia we know is connected. It's all connected. So they always talk about how many muscles of the body that we have, right? Like, oh, like 600 muscles. But think about, what if we had one muscle and 600 fascia pockets? That's a different concept. So it's all connected. Go ahead and bring that arm up. We're going to the other side. So science is finding that, yeah, we've got the fascia, and, you know, when you wiggle your fingers, we know that it's affecting the upper back. It's all connected. So your muscles have different attachment points, but the fascia, it runs through everything, around everything. Just continue breathing, wiggling, so your left hand is underneath, palm is up, you're wiggling your fingers, feeling that stretch through the upper back and the shoulder. Now you're coming back to center. We're going to roll the quads one more time, because we always do the quads tight twice, because, you know, second time's a little easier. So coming back to those quads. And if your quads are super tight, they could be pulling your hips out of alignment, which could be affecting your sciatic as well. So let's just forward and back. Now option 2 is to go side to side. So there's so many different ways. If that's too painful, just stay the forward and back. And then you're going to walk your elbows back and go forward and back again. And then don't forget the side to side. So massaging them out. And then walk it back. Now say you rolled a couple days ago and it wasn't as painful, and like, oh, today I feel it a little bit more. Well, again, check in, like, what did you do? Were you more active? Were you less active? Did you not drink enough water? Maybe you're not as hydrated. That can affect it. And then side to side, and then moving on up. I'm going off of my mat here. There we go. Forward and back. And then also, I'm always doing the continuing ed. So I did another one this weekend on the fascia of the body, and that they find the way, the webbing, the way it goes, it's kind of like a crisscross, the way it flows when you're moving. So when we're moving a lot, that's why yoga and this is so great for the fascia tissue. Don't forget your side to side. And when you're seated for long periods of time, the fascia is more like a ball of yarn, but that had just gotten all messed up, and it's all just like thrown together, and it's not, it doesn't have the proper nerve, it's not reacting properly, I should say, with the nerves. I'm not expressing myself on how I want to explain that to you. I need a picture to show you. Now we're going to slide off of that, off the roller. Let's take one more child's pose. I want you to really reach it out, but this time I want you to walk both hands to your left side of the roller. So as you're stretching the left side, now we're going to get a little bit more into the right side of the low back, which can help with the sciatic there too, stretching it out. Another breath in. And then we're going to walk both hands to the right, sink into it. So as your left hand is reaching to the right, you're going to feel that stretch, maybe through the back, maybe through the arm or the shoulder. And then we're going to come all the way up to a seated position. Sit all the way up, because I want you to do one more. We want to stretch this a little bit more. I want you to sit up tall. Cross your legs. So you're crossing your legs so your right leg is in front. And bring the roller close enough that you can place that right foot out in front like that, okay? And then start to lift tall first through the spine. Now if this bothers your hip, you can keep your foot down. You don't have to bring it up. I want you to start to lean into it. Lean, lean. Now we're gonna, remember our focus is to release and stretch, not stress, but stretch that fascia tissue around and help out that sciatic. nerve area. So with this foot here, you're starting to lean. Now you start to lean and you start feeling anything fire up, then you back off. You go where you want. Some of you might be able to get down further. And you're breathing. A lot on just stretching that whole area. Now wherever your right, so right leg is out, we're leaning basically to the left towards that, because that right foot's across. Take that right arm, reach it across the body, almost like you're crisscrossing your arms or holding your elbows. And now just take 3 deep breaths here. And notice where you're feeling this. And we're going to compare it to the other side. Wiggle your toes on that right foot. And then walk yourself up. Good job. We're going to flip that roller to the other side. We're going to cross the legs the opposite way and bring that left foot on top. It can be out in front, wherever feels good to you, so you have that movement. Sit up tall first, and then rotate to the right, and then start to lean towards that left foot. Make adjustments. And again, remember, we're noticing the difference. I have to stretch and release that leg. Ooh. I feel a completely different place on this side. And just breathe. And now take that left arm, reach it across like you're holding the elbow or gonna hug yourself. And breathe. Then the leg, the back, the hip, hamstring. Wiggle your left toes. Excellent. And then we're going to release. Go ahead and place that roller crossways on your mat, and let's sit up nice and tall with the roller behind us. And just give those legs a shake. Shake them out. Maybe pull the glutes out so you're sitting on those sits bones again. Flex your feet. Inhale, lift. Arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Shake out those legs and just give your body a rock side to side. Let your head hang heavy. Feel that nice stretch. And then just pause in the middle. Sink into it a little deeper. Never forcing it. One more breath here. Make adjustments. Maybe you come up and go back down again. And then we'll walk the hands out. Sit up nice and tall. Hopefully you're feeling great. Feeling some blood flow, energy. So we have one more area. We're going to work on the upper back a little bit, or sorry, the neck and the head, not the upper back. We already did the upper back. So we're going to take one tennis ball. Keep your roller right there because we're going to get to it in a moment. And I want you to take the tennis ball and hold it right at the base of your neck. So right on top of the shoulder, right at the base. And just add a little pressure there. Add a little pressure. Do a little bit of forward, back, forward, back. And then switch sides. We're just doing a little one right at the base of the neck. Forward, back, forward, back. Good. All right, so now what we're going to do with that tennis ball, we're going to lay back on the floor. We're still going to work on the neck. Keep the roller close to your head because we will use it in a moment, so it's right at the top of your head. You're going to take the tennis ball in your left hand. Remember how we went on top of that shoulder? I want you to do similar, but you're going to go more to the back side and up like you're going towards the head. Turn your head a little bit away from the tennis ball. Find a spot. If you can see, I'm going right below. So I'm not on my vertebrae. And I'm not on the side of my neck. Never want to go on the side of your neck. You're more towards the back, but up towards the skull. You can even find that spot with your fingers first. Sometimes there's some tension back there. You're going to place the tennis ball and then just start to rock and roll your head into the tennis ball and away from the tennis ball, holding it right at the base. So part of the reason I'm doing a lot of the back side of the body, sciatic, When we get so tense, even in the neck and the upper back, we get so thrown out of alignment just because we're compensating at our hips and our low back. And so when our low back starts to compensate because we're so tight up in the neck, because we're holding our tension there, this helps just release some of it and give our back a break so we can function better and use the areas that we want. So rock and roll, good. Now we're going to take the tennis ball out and we're going to try the other side. So now you're going to take it in the right hand, turn your head to the right, find that spot right at the base, and I found that one right away. And then rock your head back and forth, on and off. So remember, you're not on the vertebrae, and you're not on the side of the neck, you're more towards the back. So I want to know if you're finding those tension spots in your neck with that tennis ball. Let me know in the comments. Check in with your belly. It's pulled in. Your back is supported on the floor because your belly is working, because we're taking the tension out of the neck. So a lot of times too, when our neck takes over, our core tends to get a little bit weaker because our shoulders and neck are doing all the work that the core should be doing. All right, so one more. Now you're going to take that tennis ball, go ahead and place it to the side, and you're going to lift your head up, and we're going to roll that roller underneath the base of our skull, so right at the back. Now when you get there, maybe reach your fingertips underneath so you can feel your vertebrae at the back of the neck so it's not on the roller. And then turn your head slightly to the right, and you're going to, your neck is still not, your vertebrae are not touching the roller. Just now, it's called the occipital bone, the base of your skull, and then you're going to nod your head yes as you're looking to the right. So you're massaging the base of the skull. Now, if this is ultra painful, then of course throw a towel, something softer, because you don't want to have pain, and then just a very, very gentle nod no on that same spot. Maybe another yes. Yes, it feels so good. You want this to feel good. And then I want you to roll your head all the way to the left and make sure, and then make adjustments if you feel like the roller's going to roll away. You can always hold the ends or bring your fingers on top. And I want you to do a little nod yes. So on your left occipital bone, and then a little nod no, and yes again. Just do what feels good. If you get headaches sometimes, maybe you have the tension ones, you might find some little bit of tender spots, because this is where it can get tight. Now you're going to move your head back to center. We're going to reach our hands out to the outside of the roller, and I want you to bring the roller right in the middle of the head, looking up at the ceiling or the sky, and then rock your head side to side, side to side. Massaging out the back of your skull. And then turn your head all the way to the right. So when you go to the right, the roller is above your ear. So your ear is not hitting the roller, it's right above it. And then nod your head yes. It's kind of like if you're getting your head shampooed, it's like at the salon, the thumbs goes right there. It's like, feels so good. Massage. A little bit of nod no. And then slowly roll your head to the other side. And a little bit of yes. Again, above the ear, a little bit of no. And then back to center. Now when you come back to center, you're looking straight up at the ceiling. The roller is right behind your head, just a very small tilt with your head. So your chin goes a little bit toward the chest, but you're not collapsing through the neck where you can't breathe or talk. So a little bit of nice neck stretch. And you can even add a very slight, and I'm talking slight, with your chin tilted, tilt to the right, just a little. Not forcing anything. And then slowly tilt it to the other side. And then back to center. Head goes to neutral, lift it back up. Now I want you to lift your head off the roller, put the roller behind you on the floor or next to you. Bring your arms next to the body, let your head rest on the floor. Good. Bring your feet in close to your hands or your hips. Reach your fingertips towards your feet or ankles. Really walk your hands towards your feet because you're trying to walk your shoulders away from your ears, lengthening through the neck. And breathe in and slowly exhale out. Good. Bring your arms to a T out to the side. Let your head rock to the left. And then slowly rock to the right. And then back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Give it a rock side to side. Now we're going to roll ourselves all the way up. And bend your knees. Put your feet flat on the floor. Bring your hands underneath your knees and make a fist or interlace. I'll turn this way so you can see. Make a fist or interlace, feet flat on the floor. Now I want you to lengthen through the spine. Lengthen, lengthen. So if you need to walk your feet further out, so you're going to feel that stretch. So you get nice and long. So like this. So I'm nice and long. Tucking that chin. And breathe. Turn your head slightly to the right. And then slowly to the left. Make sure your chin's not up. Tuck your chin just slightly. Come back to center. Good. Now round through your back. Tuck your chin into your chest. Stretch it out. And then lift up nice and tall. Good. You're going to cross your legs. Sit up tall as we rotate the shoulders. Up, back, and down. Reach your arms behind your back. Interlace. Open up that chest. Take a breath in. And then out. Release the fingertips. Bring the arms all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. One stretch each side with the arm to the sky. And then bring the palms together. Exhale them all the way down to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you feel fabulous now. Namaste.